Hello and welcome to a review. I explain what it is and I wouldn't say cheat recruit methodology, but a trick on that I've learned over the years for how to get yourself started in it and how to do some critical literature review. Now, I'm going to start off with some overview and basics of writing, but you will find other videos on the same same list as this. So if you want to go find out more, please for normal viewers of my channel, this is not Naval History content. This is me putting something extra up there for my students to find, because some missed the presentation. And itself is normally 40 slides long and is about an hour and a half. But I'm going to just go over the bit which was a specific focus for this presentation, that lecture, and the rest of the lecture is covered in other videos, so you can go and watch 5 or 6 minutes each time. Keywords to remember for writing. Content. Is there appropriate amount of relevant information in it? You don't want too much, you don't want too little. You don't want too much, you don't want too little. You need to just have the right amount. Reference. Has the information used been sourced from reliable tools? That's what you must always treat these things at. This is a wonderful book. It's a book I just used for another video I've recorded. It's a wonderful book. I need to know if you use it, that you used it. If, however, you are citing, I don't know, this one. Terry Pratchett. Now, Terry Pratchett is a wonderful author, but if you are discussing the principles of engineering, and you are talking about the historical development of engineering in terms of the real world, then Terry Pratchett is probably not going to be your primary source. Development of engineering in the Discworld, yeah, excellent source. Development of engineering in our world, not such an excellent source. For starters, he changes all the names around. So that's one of the reasons why we want to know what you're referencing. So we want to know what tools you're using. Also, it helps lecturers like me know if you're A, using the reading list, and B, if you're going to doing your own research. If you're going to doing your own research, great. If you're not, then we need to come and talk to you and try and help you out so you can find a way to do your own research, because that's the point of university, to learn how to, in many ways, go and equip yourself with the knowledge you need. Come to us to learn the tools that you need to do that. Presentation. Does it look professional? Again, if you're one of my students, you've heard this. Let me tell you this story often enough. But there have been actual studies done where people have handed in their work where it has not been beautifully beautifully aligned and straight lines both sides, column style, book style, whatever you call it. Like this. Straight lines both sides. Versus when people have got it left aligned or right aligned. Or centrally aligned for some strange reason. And on average, it's the same content will get 2 marks more. Because it looks professional. And it's pressing one button on Microsoft Word. One button. Average 2 marks more. Just because of pure marker psychology. If it looks more professional, they're going to be more likely to mark it in a positive way than if it doesn't, because they might start looking at marking in a negative way. And that's just basic human psychology. It's nothing nasty. It's not them not liking you or anything like that. It's not. It's basic human psychology. If I've got a paper in front of me, which looks like it's been nicely turned out, nice and neat, and I'm marking it, going through and marking it, I'm looking for things to give it the marks. I'm looking to give it marks. If it looks all a mess, untidy, there's no paragraph structure, everything is pushed together and higgledy-piggledy and it's all that, it looks like the person who's handed in hasn't bothered in it. So I'm already going, what have they missed in this? It looks a mess. Basic human psychology. Style, does it read well? You can find out an easy way of checking if it reads well. Read it out loud. Your ears will never lie to you. Your eyes, your brain will lie to you when you read it in your head. You will see all the things you intended to be there. But your ears, they are the Bart Simpson of human sensory organs. Well, in fact, even worse. They are the Nelson from The Simpsons of human sensory organs. They love to laugh at you. And if you say something that sounds absolutely atrocious, they will go in your ear as hard as they can. Ethics, the right thing to do. Best practice, the correct thing to do. Those two things should go hand in hand. However, best practice can sometimes go astray, and then you have to ask yourself whether you want to keep with the best practice or whether you want to do with the ethically correct thing to do. My advice is always try and hold on to pieces of your soul. You never know when you might need them. And corroborate. Use multiple sources. I have this book, but I also have these two books on similar subjects, written at similar times, so I can compare and contrast what they're saying. And I'm in constant search of modern versions to give me more comprehension, and to go and look at the journal articles all the time. Because if I have multiple sources that say something, that's a good thing. That gives me a consensus view and multiple sources I can cite in my as a reference to it. But then also I can point out when there are sources which disagree with those multiple sources, and I can point out the outliers and the information they provide, which is demonstrating critical analysis and critical thinking, which is what we're looking for in a literature review. Isn't that brilliant? So, planning. Rough idea of planning your work. Read the question. Again, I do not like to... I really hate when I am reading a beautifully written essay, but the person who's written it hasn't actually read the question that I've asked, and I've set, and I'm marking everyone according to the same mark scheme of. No, they've invented an entire question in their own head, and they are answering beautifully. They've done wonderful research, and they then get a terrible mark. And they come to me afterwards and go, but I did all this work, I did all this research. And I go, no. But the trouble is, here's the thing, it's beautiful, it's well written, it's lovely. But that wasn't the assignment. And if you consider in the world of work, that would be like if you were a carpenter, someone who worked with wood, and someone said, I want you to go and build me a 6-seater dining table. And you came back with 6 rocking chairs. They're beautiful, but they're not what I asked for. I wanted a table and 6 chairs that all sat me at a dining table. I didn't want 6 rocking chairs. Put together a rough plan first before doing a research. Always put a rough plan together. Then find a key text. At this point, especially if you're first years, but if you're master's students returning from working in industry and all those things, go and find your subject librarian. Consult the module guide, but go and find a subject librarian about what is best for the topics, because they will know. That is their entire purpose. They are really special, really important people, and they deserve a huge amount of respect. Using the key text and your rough plan, put together a better plan. And then gather more sources which accord with that plan. And this is really important for that first point, content, the appropriate amount of relevant information in it. Because there are 2 pitfalls students fall into. There are the students who are, let's be honest, lazy. There is always some who don't go and do any research, and so they don't have enough information, so which soon shows up. We can soon tell when you're just writing waffle in your work. We can soon tell. Or there are the students who go and do oodles and oodles of research because they're really, really keen, and then they cram everything in, and the entire thing doesn't read like an essay, it reads like a list of facts. That's wonderful. But I'm not looking for a list of facts, which may or may not be relevant. I am looking for a properly thought out analysis and essay or report on a subject, which is going to contain a lot of analysis. It's going to contain a lot of facts too, but it's going to contain a lot of analysis. Let me give you a rough idea from the mark scheme. From the mark scheme, roughly, as a rule, they're not all the same thing, but roughly, for every 1 mark you get for evidence, in the evidence you're presenting. You can get 2 or 3 marks for analysis of that evidence. So think about that. For every 1 mark for evidence, there's usually 2 to 3 marks for analysis and critical thinking. So that tells you exactly how much of your work really should be devoted to be bringing in a lot of evidence. If you've got a 3,000-word essay as your assignment, if you spend 2,500 words bringing up a load of information and just giving me new information after new information, that's great. But I then have to try and give you 75% of of those marks for 500 words. I might want to because you've done a lot of great research. But I can only mark what's actually written in front of me. I can't mark what's written in your head. I'd love to, but I can't. As a lecturer, this is me speaking as a lecturer, not specific anyone, but just a lecturer. SEAL, Statement, Evidence, Analysis, Link. It's the core of an academic paragraph, structure. And the moment you're into anything which is critical analysis or critical view or synoptic, you're going to have to think about how does the evidence relate to your argument and how does the evidence fit in context. Now, please note, there's a second question up there. How does the evidence relate to your argument? And then, if it's different above, how does the evidence relate to your question? Let me give you a little hint. And this is how you can tell if you're going off on a topic and going off on one and wandering into the wide blue yonder rather than answering a question. 1 paragraph where those 2 things are different, that's some interesting thinking. 2 paragraphs in a row where that's different, this is the point at which you should be starting to hear warning sirens going off. 3 paragraphs in a row, you have officially left the cornfield and you are going off somewhere else. Okay? You have officially gone on walkies. Don't do that. Don't. Okay, so just think about that when you're writing. Think about the statement at the beginning of the paragraph. What's this paragraph about? Give me signposting. Make my life as a marker easier. Or any lecture's life as a marker easier. Evidence. Analysis. Linking the paragraph to the next so the essay flows. So the report flows. So it holds together. Right then. Critical literature reviews. What it is and a trick of how to do it. What it is. It's showing a reading of and broad understandings of your topic. That's it, basically. We're not asking you to go and do a load of reading for the sake of our health. We're asking you to go and do a load of reading because you need to know that to know where your work fits in it. It's showing that you can consider multiple sources at the same time. It's showing that you're capable of higher level analysis and critical thinking. These are important things. These are important things you need to be able to do. And considering the multiple sources is a really important thing. We want you to be able to think about holding more than one piece of information in your head at the same time. We know you can do it, especially once you reach dissertation level when you're actually doing a critical literature review. But we need to be able to see you can do it. It's that thing of, we can't give you marks and reward you for what's in here. We can only reward you for what's on the paper. So, with that in mind, there is a trick I have, which is a starting point. Please note, this is a starting point. This is not something to be religiously followed, but it is a starting point for how to write a critical literature review, which I have developed over the years to help engineering students. It's a formula for a critical literature review. You start off with your core text. You work out the topics around your topic. Go through and you work out, what am I talking about? Okay. You then turn those topics into 10 key areas. Now, this is based on a 3,000-word critical review, which is based on a 15,000-word thesis, which is roughly standard for master's students. If you work it out, if you're doing a 10,000-word dissertation because you're a bachelor student, then you've got roughly 2,000 words. So you might want to cut down on a number of key areas. May not. For each of those areas, find a reputable journal article, a reputable textbook, and a web article, preferably reputable as well, but some web articles, they are reputable, but they have all the content in and all the information, they look good, but they don't have the things necessarily you'd want them to have. Go and check if they have them. There are ways to check an article on the web. Go and check it. Get the subject librarian to check it out if you want to, and they will often find out details and might well give you the stuff that allows you to reference it and help you with finding that information. For each, start off each section by discussing the journal article. Then compare that to the textbook and what it says. Finally, contrast them with the web article, making a summary in academic English on your opinion of them all in terms of your broader question. Move on to the next one. Each area will be roughly 250 words long, plus an intro and summary of the chapter, which will also be roughly 250 words long. It's very simple, I know, and it sounds very basic, but it's a great starting point. You will develop your own style when you're reading through of how you review literature. But if you start off by thinking for each area I need to be discussing and comparing and contrasting three different sources, and if I start off with a journal, a textbook, and a web article, then I'm going to be doing that. And different authors and different years, because also you have to remember the journal article will tend to be the most reliable academically because it's been peer reviewed. Theoretically, that's a good standard. Not all journals are the same, that's why I put reputable there. And a textbook, that's going to have been edited, that's going to have been gone through, and it's been selected for the library for a reason, often on recommendation of one of the academics in the department. So, there you go, it's got a level of stability about it. The web article is often going to be the newest, most up-to-date information, but it's also had the least checks on the way. So it is often going to be the most interesting and possibly the most spicy, but might not be the most reliable. It's worthwhile thinking about these things. And that's the wrong slide, but luckily I didn't need another slide. We'll go back. Basically, think the things through, develop them properly, and it will all be good. And hope that helps. And if you have any questions, if you're at Kingston University, at least for the foreseeable future, you can find me in the SASC department. We have, on Canvas, we have a module. And you can log into that, and that will give you our online sessions. And you will find me online Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. For a large chunk of the day, sitting with an open Teams system for you to just pop in and go, I have a problem. And I'll hopefully be able to help you. If not, I'll probably be able to send you to where you do need some help. Take care, have fun, and hope this helped. But remember, this is just a simple idea to go through. And I'm going to expand it up so you can see it fully before I go. Hope the trick helps. Thank you very much for watching.